Hey, it's Eric again. And first of all, I want to say thank you so much for investing in AI Children's Bookmaker 2500 and becoming a member today. We really appreciate it. And we think that you are going to be absolutely very, very happy with that decision and that you're going to enjoy creating books with this platform. Now, here's a quick video to talk about an upgrade that we're offering you as a special one-time offer. This is the Pro upgrade, the Pro version of AI Children's Bookmaker 2500, and it's a big one, okay? This is not just some little upgrade. This is a big upgrade with some very big ramifications because it really kind of multiplies your opportunity with this tool, with this platform. Starting with the opportunity to create chapter books. We kind of struggled with whether we should even maybe offer this option on the front end, on the sales page, like maybe we should offer our chapter bookmaker, because there may have been people that, come and look at our sales page and they're like, well, I'm not really interested in writing a children's book, but I might be interested in writing a chapter book, or I'm interested in writing novels or whatever. As it is though, we decided to just keep this completely exclusive for our members. So sorry to those people. If those people didn't invest in the AI Children's Bookmaker 2500, they're never going to see this offer. This offer is only being made to those who grabbed AI Children's Bookmaker 2500. So first of all, the chapter book upgrade will allow you to create longer books. So for older kids, for youth, even for teens, those books tend to vary in length depending on the age range. This maybe goes anywhere from like 6 years old up into the teens. And some of those younger age ranges might have books around like 60 pages long, maybe like 10 chapters, bigger font, things like that. And then go up to, maybe like 150 to 200 pages for some of those upper age ranges. This is one that I created with our tool. It is called Bella and the Lost Legends of Maple Grove. I'm calling it an intermediate reader. It is 140 pages long, so you can kind of see the thickness of that. I did publish this book on Amazon. This book right here cost me $2.68. So just another cool factoid there. Like, you can publish these, and if you want to buy some for yourself, for your family or whatever, or if you want to buy some to sell the hard copy in person, you can buy a book like this for $2.68. Great glossy cover. And we also put illustrations in it. It doesn't cost any extra to put illustrations in your book. We just did black and white on this. So it's black and white illustrations on white paper. And it turned out great. Like I said, about 140 pages. You can actually see a read aloud somewhere below on this page where I read the first chapter of this book to a couple of my own kids, and they were intrigued, okay? This story, the other thing you can see on this page, by the way, is a demonstration of me creating this book. You can see the walkthrough of me creating this book with our chapter book upgrade tools. So even though the story was essentially written by AI, it is a very good, compelling story. It was a great concept. I did have sort of a basic idea of what I wanted the book to be about, and so I sort of fed that into our tool. And as you'll see, you have the option. You can either have the tool completely come up with the idea for you from nothing, or you can give it an idea and then begin to refine that idea and work with that. You've got lots of options within our tools. Just kind of like with the children's book aspect, you can use it as much or as little as you want in any given project. Like with the children's books, you could have our tool illustrate it, but then write it yourself, or vice versa. You could illustrate it yourself, but have our tool write it. Kind of same thing with this. If you've got ideas, if you want to write some of it yourself, you can then work with our AI tool to do that. We actually have within our tool something called Author's Assistant. Again, that's part of this Pro Upgrade Edition, is our Author's Assistant tools that you can essentially work with. It's like having an editor, a professional editor, and someone who's like an author coach and a writer and all of that right there, right by your side. And it's amazing what these Author's Assistants can do. They can take an entire book like this, and you'll actually see me do this in the demonstration of the Author's Assistants. You can feed this entire book to it, and it can process that entire book, read the whole book, synthesize it, and give you specific improvement instructions in about 10 to 15 seconds. It's mind-blowing. It's crazy. So even if you're like an author and you're writing your own books, this is still a great tool for you. Like, you could completely even skip the AI part of like writing the story and just use it for the assistant tools. You could use our Illustrator, whatever. It's like whatever, even if you only use a fraction of the power of our tools, it's still worth it. So it's really up to you. You can use it anywhere. The spectrum ranges from having our tools do all of the work for you to just using our tools for little bits and pieces of your project. It's really up to you, however you want to do that. So this is a huge upgrade, just incredible opportunities there. It essentially opens up whole new markets for you, right? Instead of just the younger children's book market, now you have the older market. And really, even though we don't advertise this as such, it's not like there's an age range on this. I mean, you could technically use it to create books for adults. We've sort of programmed it geared more towards, chapter books for youth, but it's a very powerful tool, and honestly, it could probably write just about anything you want it to write. So we've got that. The other side of our Pro upgrade is the illustration upgrades, and these are a game changer. This is something that you absolutely don't want to miss. Now, I know on the previous page, on the sales page, I definitely talked a lot about the fact that we can now do consistent character illustrations, right? Huge game changer, huge upgrade, big difference between our first version of our software and this 2500 version. Well, we take that absolutely to the next level in this Pro upgrade. Our main tool, our main illustration tool that you've already joined can do consistent characters. It does take some trial and error, as you'll see in my demonstration videos, in which you may have even watched some of those on that previous sales page. Now, this Pro upgrade has some very special character creation tools that work amazingly well to create consistent characters again and again and again. It works for human characters, it works for animal characters, and it works for imaginary characters. So, Bigfoot, Yeti, whatever. It can do basically any kind of character you want to create and do it consistently over and over again. And the way it does that essentially is it uses a technology that we call a base character image or illustration. So the first part of sort of like a two-step process. And so the first step, you create your character. It's like a character avatar. You put in, I want this to be a boy. I want it to be a boy who is a certain age range. I want him to be wearing this, this, and this. And so you create this character avatar, and it sort of spits out this avatar for you. You can then take that into the step 2 to then put that character into whatever kind of scene you want to put him into. Say, okay, this boy is now riding a bicycle. This boy is now fishing in a pond. This boy is now sitting in his classroom. This boy is now walking through the hallway at school. You can put him in all these different, scenes and scenarios, and you can do it over and over consistently. And because the AI has that reference that you came up with in step 1, it's going to make him look the same in every scene. Okay, so our basic tool, right, our basic illustration tool that you just acquired doesn't have that, okay? It does have some really awesome technology where we use what's essentially a written character reference. So you've already got something that uses a written character reference to create consistent characters. So it's like in this written reference, it'll say, hey, I want it to be a boy. He's got to be wearing a blue baseball cap and black shoes and this and that. And every time you create that character, every time you create a new illustration, it's reading through those instructions, and it's going to create that character as consistently as it can. And it does work. It works beautiful. All those examples that I gave you on the previous sales page were actually created with that basic illustration tool that's in the main package. The ones that you see on this page were created with our upgrade tool. And I'm just saying it's a huge shortcut, really. Instead of having to do a lot more trial and error and come up with making sure you say the exact right things in those prompts and in those character references, you're essentially just using an illustration reference, an image, a base image. And so the AI actually has a real image to go off of. Now, where this gets additionally exciting, I got to be careful with the superlatives that I use here. Where this gets absolutely crazy, amazing, fantastic is you can also upload photos. You can use photos as references, which is just so cool. So you could go, for example, find a stock photo that looks like the character you want. So say you've got a certain character in mind, whatever that character may be. It could be an old person, could be a young person, whatever. Go find a stock image, and if you find a picture, and especially if it shows their face, you can use that image and create a consistent character out of it. Now, yes, I know the wheels in your head are turning. That means you can also use real photos of real people you know. So if you've got kids, if you've got grandkids, yes, you can put them into a children's book. Think about that. So cool. I actually give you an example somewhere on this page down below where I do that. I take a picture of one of my daughters and feed it into our tool, and put her in a rocket ship and put her, I can't remember, a few different places, standing on top of Mount Everest. You can put them into any illustration, right? You turn them into a children's book illustration. Think about the possibilities. I mean, endless. You can do that not only for your kids and grandkids, but you could also do that for clients. I don't know if some of you might remember back in the day, there probably still are these services, but back in the day, there were these services where you could order customized children's books with your own kid's name in it, right? So it was just basically like a personalized printing product, right? So you would order a children's book, and often it was like about their birthday, right? So it's kind of like happy birthday to, and then it was like, printed in there, Eric. Today is Eric's birthday. So it was like this customized thing, and parents would pay good money for that because it was this personalized gift that they could give to their kid or grandkid or whatever. Well, this is like so next level. Of course, you can put their names in it. That's easy. You can put their names in your book all you want. You can write stories about them. You can have the AI make stories about them. But now you can actually put them in your book as an illustrated character. How cool is that? And again, I'm just scratching the surface of the power of this upgrade. I encourage you to kind of read through this page, check out the demos. This is not some little thing. This is a big upgrade. And since you've invested in the main package already, you've invested in AI Children's Book Maker 2500, that means you're interested in creating children's books. It means you're interested in creating these things. I think it absolutely makes sense to grab this upgrade package because it's going to open up additional opportunities for you. It's going to open up more markets for you. Plus, huge time saver with those consistent characters, the ability to do them even better, even more consistent, plus the option to do photos and things like that. And again, there's other features that I'm not even mentioning right now because I just don't want to make this video super long. Absolutely, highly recommend this upgrade. It is a one-time offer. That's the one thing I do want to quickly remind you of or make mention of is that this is a one-time offer. So if you don't grab it now, you can get it later, but it's going to cost you a lot more. Okay, so you can get it very affordably right now during this one-time offer. If you get it in the membership area later, it's $197. So, still not ridiculous. It's still affordable, but when you see the price on this page, it's a lot better than $197. So if you want to get it for this price, grab it now during this one-time offer. Otherwise, if you want to get it later, it's going to cost you $197. All right, so simple as that. Thanks for checking it out. Hope you grab this upgrade, and we look forward to seeing you in the members area.